warmly want to take this opportunity to invite you, and I want to say by saying a big thank you. Making time during this time of the year requires special effort. So thank you to each one of you from the busy cycles, and welcome from high school moms. It has been just a brief time since I have joined this team, and I'm so happy to be able to have this time and opportunity to engage in such an interesting discussion with my fraternity members. So, coming straight to the topic, we are discussing here about AI and college admissions. We're also going to discuss how college essays have evolved over time, and we're also going to talk about how artificial intelligence is a boon or a bane. So formally, I'm welcoming Ms. Poonam Pagai. She is career counselor from Symbiosis International School in Pune. Poonam, if you just want to, say a wave and say hello, and we'll also capture your photo in the meantime. Then I have Ms. Shraddha Jain. She is academic coordinator at Sushila Birla Girls School, Kolkata, and she also looks after the career counseling activities. We have Ms. Nagma Khan. She is head of college advisory at DPS International Edge in Gurgaon. And along with that, she also manages other roles. We also have Ms. Khushbu Taparia Bedi. She is career cell coordinator at the Sanskar Valley School, Bhopal. So as we are, discussing this topic today, I also want to share that we have an attendance of about close to 80 people at the moment. And this could be a mix of educators, teachers, students, and even parents. Because the topic is such that it is important for everyone to know the perspectives from the best leaders in the industry. So we have understood that artificial intelligence is going to be a part of our lives even more. There is deeper engagement through different kind of artificial intelligence programs and even chatbots. I'm interested to discuss today how this has affected the college admissions process. Now, the word college admission is maybe just a term, but we all know it's a process. It takes a time over the period of several months and deep engagement with the advisors. College essay particularly has been a very integral part of the university application process over the period of time, over decades. And ideally, the purpose was to show the students' unique abilities, their writing skills, their personality, their experiences, and also a place for them to express maybe some very private areas of their life. Over time, students have also understood to use the space intelligently and be able to showcase the unique personality and also communicate with the admission officers to demonstrate best fit. But we are now living in very interesting times where very well crafted letters are being received by officers. So it is interesting to discuss how universities will look at it, how the idea is still retained, or are we experiencing more challenges? Are we experiencing a growth or a benefit in this area? So I'd like to begin just by a quick opening statement by each of our esteemed panelists with their years of experience. May I please begin with Ms. Nagma Khan, just moving from left to right to the screen.
Okay, thank you, Shilpa. Good evening, everyone. So one of the hottest topic at this juncture that we are going to talk about today. We are, as there's with every revolution, I am calling it a revolution, there's been and boon. And I'm looking forward to talking about it today. We are going to talk, we are not going to get rid of it. That is one thing which we all have accepted. I think from today's session, let's talk about how to use it in a conscious way and in a mindful way. So thank you, Shilpa, for this. And I'm looking forward to our discussion today.
Thank you so much. I look forward to Ms. Poonam's comment related to that.
Good evening, everyone. Today we'll explore how AI impacts the authenticity and accuracy of the college applications in shaping the students' academic futures. We are going to unravel the relationship between the technology and the portrayal of individuality in the college admissions, the students.
Thank you. Ms. Khushbu, may I have a comment from you as well?
Hi, everyone. So on a lighter note, I'm not really a particular fan of the vowels A and I, but I'm really old school. I feel the process of writing an essay in the application is very, very important, integral part of it. And I'm skeptical that whether AI will do disservice to our students and robbing them of this opportunity. Also, I'm sad for colleges that they'll really have to police over these essays all the time. So let's deep dive. Very curious to learn from my co-panelists as well. Thank you.
I had to
Thank
say
you.
it, Khushbu, we have a critique in us.
Thank you, Ms. Khushbu. May I also have a comment from Ms. Shraddha?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am really happy to be a part of this esteemed panel. And today we are talking about a very double-edged sword, the AI. And on a very lighter note, I am not a bot.
Okay,
So,
thank you. So I am going to go straight to, the questions that for which the answers every student is looking forward to. And my first question is to Ms. Khushbu. When we discuss the purpose of AI, and we have already covered, what it has been doing in the past, you've also expressed, your idea towards how favorable it is. Can you just briefly tell us in few words, what is the real purpose of a college essay and what value does it hold on the other side of the table?
Sure. So I really feel that application essays are one of the most valuable writings that humans do. And in one word, if I want to say what college essays mean, is all about metacognition. What it means is that when a student deep dives into himself or herself and understand what is their thought process, and it also gives them a chance to introspect, to reflect, to really think about what they've done so far, and in the limited span of time that they are in this world, what they really want to do. So it's that defining moment where they really get to reflect, learn, and decide for themselves. It's slow, difficult, but I think it's truly empowering and meaningful process if done well with the help of a counselor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, this also takes me to my next question. When we understand that this is such a powerful tool, and now we have other powerful tools that are completely animated, that are so artificially, so well constructed. So to Ms. Nagma, with the rise of the AI tools, how can colleges ensure that this genuinity is reflected in the work that they receive? Since we've already covered that this is such a powerful place for the student to express.
So in our panel, I have given myself a role, and that's of defense lawyer. So I'm going to come up with, honestly, I do understand where my colleagues are coming from, to be very honest. However, let's look at, is it only the challenges that we are facing, or with it, is AI also bringing a very powerful tool in our lives? And that is why let's start with, first of all, looking at the challenge, because that is something that has time and again we are talking about. And as human beings, we have a tendency of being a little skeptical about anything new that is introduced. So I think the biggest challenge that we are facing is loss of authenticity, and maybe an edge that we can consider as being unfair, when people are using the AI generative tools. However, I think the things that colleges or, institution can do to ensure that these are the steps that could be taken for genuine content to emerge out of students' work. I think, first of all, very explicit contextualized questions. That is what we are looking at, right? Because where is the AI getting an edge? It is a trained bot, right? Context is something that is a human touch, So though we have still colleges coming, they have very contextualized questions sometimes, depending on their colleges, depending on their institution, but make it explicit. And that is when a human touch becomes necessary. right? One of the College of Charleston from US actually says that they have put this declaration. They say that we celebrate that Chat GPT and other AI generative tools are readily available. Please ensure it was used to support your essay and not write it for you. So that is something that as counselors, as colleges, we have to accept and agree with. Another way is timed essay format. Okay, that is one thing that again could be introduced from the school. We can start training our students around it, and also colleges can adapt it. Some of them have already adapted it. Some of them are now coming up with prompts that are given at that time, video prompts. Write essay at that time, right? That is again something that can be, it deals with AI emergence. Uh, Also, a couple of colleges, we send pre-assessed work of students because the colleges would like to see pre-assessed work of colleges. I think that is again something that we can introduce to the colleges. Not we can introduce, colleges can adapt and do that so that the genuine content of a student is can be assessed. And I think how I want to end this question is because we are getting smarter, AI is getting more smarter. Let's face it. We are getting smart. AI is getting smarter, and the detection of plagiarized work is also done by AI. Let's face it. And that is something we have to convey to our students and train them accordingly. So I think more or less, Shilpa, we did talk about what all
Yeah,
AI
it's
can bring.
absolutely, and it's very interesting to get this perspective that there is a detection of the work as well. So shifting from gears from this conversation into how might universities put measures to detect it. So Ms. Poonam, I want to put this question out to you: that what measures do you think can be put in place to detect whether this work is AI generated or it is the student's own original work, and determine authenticity? And do you think that this will have any implications on the student, just like Ms. Nagba said, that they are looking at it, everybody is getting smarter as we move ahead in time and with technology?
Yeah. So the first thing that the universities can put in place to detect AI generated content in this application essays is the straightforward. First is the plagiarism detection tools or the AI detection tools. So as we know, AI, there's Turnitin, which is a paid software which is used by many schools. Universities also have it actually to put the students' thesis and dissertations and all, they run it through the software. Similarly, maybe that could be used by the universities as a first measure. Second measure, the most important one, is the human review. The AI generated content, it can, if you kind of just see a few essays, a essay written by a student and an AI written essay, you will be able to in no time be able to figure out if it is AI written, because the kind of the way the words are strung together, it's just big words which are generally kind of strung together because of the LLM, the large language models that the AI uses. It just captures the words and puts it together. So there's a lack of transition, there is lack of tone in the words, so it makes it very robotic. Second thing is the repetitiveness, because the prompt that is put in by the students is there are certain keywords based that the AI picks up and it generates the content. So that keyword is repeated many times if it's the AI generated essay or a piece of work. The same word will be repeated. There'll be also plenty of times it uses bullet points. So of course the student will take out the bullet points because it's not the format of an application essay, but you can make out that it's been kind of categorized in bullets, and then the bullets have been removed. Third thing is that tone, as I said, the tone and the style, because as we write art, we think, and our tone varies from paragraph to paragraph, style and the tone, because we are thinking beings. We'll think, we'll, kind of delve into our thought process and what drives us and what our values are, what our motivations are, and our tones will vary throughout the essay. AI generated essay will have the same tone throughout. So, it's very easy after a while for the admission officers to actually gauge whether it's written by a student or it is written by AI. And the most important thing is lack of personal opinion. AI generated content will never have any personal opinion or belief. It will be it'll just be a very fact, just presenting basic facts. So that's the way a university can definitely figure out whether it's an AI generated this thing or not. And there are several other ways, other ways that they can use to ensure that what information they're getting from the student is authentic, as Nagma mentioned, that customized questions and auto, generated questions that time, maybe the way the answers are submitted. So there are different things they can use. And I agree. The skills, as you're saying, the skills and development will definitely be impacted if the student is using too much of AI content, because they'll not be thinking on their own. Yes, they will think to maybe come up with the prompts, but
right. And Ms. Poonam, it's a difficult question that I'm going to put to Ms. Khushbu, but I'm equally interested to ask this for all the students who are listening to us. While we understand that universities are looking at certain things and they have the tools or so on, but why not take advantage of technology which is out in the public view? And don't you think that this is also possible? To work with students who are limited on creativity, or who have great ideas but limited vocabulary. So Ms. Khushbu, I would love for you to explore this. Do you think AI can be a tool that students can use, especially with your very very crisp view on the use of AI in writing essays, and maybe it can facilitate and it can help certain students, or do you think that you would still hold on to your view that it is killing creativity, or likewise?
Sure. So I think AI can be a great tool, but what is important for us to understand is that if this tool can be used as a facilitator for the metacognition process, where the student is actually introspecting. So if AI can be partnered by the student to facilitate that process. So, there are writer blocks. AI can be a great tool for that. AI can also help in idea generation, in researching, even for English language support. So for all of this, AI is just fine. Picking from what Poonam was also sharing, that, I was reading Stanford University. They like very quirky and intellectually rigorous essays, right? However, AI will only be able to give us an essay, but it doesn't know this is the requirement of Stanford. So it will not really match up to the needs of the university. And it will be an understatement of what the child can actually do or would have done justice by writing himself or herself. So the main caveat here is AI generated essays are too boring, very predictable, same language, same vocab, repetitive. As a counselor, even now when I get letter of recommendations from teachers, I can say that this is AI generated. I don't have to put it in, Turnitin or anything. I can say that. So I'm very sure that admission officers, what Nagma said, if students are smart, AI is smarter, admission officers are smartest, and they can really make out that what this student is giving. So I think we need to learn to play with this tool creatively and not fall prey to plagiarism.
So I have one related question to this. So there are individuals, professionals who are helping students write very well crafted essays. There is a certain amount of cost associated with that. How would you equate it to the use of AI that can do the same kind of work at an almost negligible cost? And just as we take help from people in our family, we take help from paid services, we are taking help from AI. So how do you view this entire equation?
So I think it's coming back to ethics in AI. And, I feel that universities will have to eventually come up with honor code for AI, which is still in a limbo. They are, I'm sure, observing, it's still evolving. AI is also evolving, and how humans are utilizing it is also evolving. But you are absolutely right, Shilpa. So, when I was thinking about all of this, I thought that what about a student who is under-resourced? What about a student who comes from non-native English-speaking countries? What about a university which says that we are AI blind? And I mean, it's just imaginary, but what if they say essay blind, so now AI blind? And what happens to those students who actually genuinely wrote those essays? They are all at a disadvantage. So I think, and also, what about universities using AI to read the essays? That is the flip side of the coin. Is that ethical? Is that okay? So these are all questions I think we're all living with. It's still confusing, a lot of gray areas. I think we'll really have to give it some time to understand, what are the honor codes around AI, what are the ethics around it. But for now, I would say that I like to be AI free when it comes to applications. I really want to be authentic. I really want to be genuine. I really want to work with students to bring out the real self in them without these tools affecting the essays directly, not using it blindly, but like I said, creatively.
Thank you. That's a wonderful insight. And again, drawing more points from the conversation we've just had, I'm directing my next question to Ms. Shraddha. Also coming from an academic background, in the education system, you work with a lot of students and teachers, and you're also supervising teachers' work. You're also looking after the career counseling activities. If I look at your role, you're managing two sides of the boat as well. And as we're discussing, the AI's capabilities, competencies, college admissions, and the processes, what would you say as an academic leader that, students could do and universities could come up with alternate ways of truly gauging the students' potential?
Shilpa, before I get into what universities could do about, truly gauging the potential of a student, I would really like to draw some light on, when we talk about writing essays, even before the popularity of I think we had a bigger threat, which was human intelligence, because we had so many ghost writers doing fabulous essays for the students, like something that you just spoke of, which is, we don't even have a tool to find out what percentage of that essay is plagiarized, because it's a complete human mind which has written the essay, right? And secondly, another point that I would like to bring about here is, see, we all need some kind of inspiration for writing. It's not that we are all writers at heart and we take a pen and paper and we can write a fabulous essays. So even before AI came into this whole picture, people would look for inspiration. Even students would look for inspiration. That could be their most favorite authors. That could be the words spoken by the teachers. That could be an article which they have read, which is published somewhere. So the formulation of idea, the picking, the style of language, and all of it, the whole inspiration to write an essay came from different sources. So now the question is, how much to be refurbished? So artificial intelligence is just asking us the question, how much should we refurbish? Because as far as originality is concerned, mind you, apart from the authors who are doing original work, most of us are looking for inspiration somewhere to write what we want to write, right? So when it comes to AI, it is just that, how much of AI are we using in our essays? How much are we refurbishing? Are we taking the whole thing and putting it up, or are we just taking an idea from there and then taking an inspiration and writing something of our own? So I think these are the 2 points that have been, I have been thinking about, and this is the scenario before AI became popular. Now, since AI has become so popular and colleges are getting essays which have an input from the AI, I feel there are different other ways that the colleges can understand the potential of the student. Some of which is, I feel personally, one that we have also done for our school admissions was admission interviews. Even during pandemic, when we were unable to meet the students online, again, this is an advantage of technology that we can take. No matter in which part of the world we are sitting, we can always get in touch or get online with the student and do an interview to understand whether there is alignment between the application made, all the achievements given, and the way the student's personality is reflected once you start speaking to the students. So that is one thing that the admission officers can do, or the colleges can look at. The second thing that I was thinking is, once the application comes in, and also say the essays come in, they could change the style of the letter of recommendation. Rather than it being an essay style letter of recommendation, after I look at the form of the student and I look at the entire portfolio and profile, and I have the contact of the person who's actually going to write the LOR or give the recommendation, I could have specific questions which are very specific to that particular student, and ask and send those questions to the person who's going to give the recommendation. So that again you can correlate to the essay. So how much once the recommendation comes in and once you have the essay, you can just correlate the two and understand what amount of the essay is original and how genuine the student is, or how the student's personality actually is. That is the second thing. Thirdly is, if you have essays which are not in the form of SOP kind of a thing, but which are more topic specific, and which require critical thinking from the point of the student, and also where the student is going to look at different perspectives and write. I think that works if you give a limited time. And I think another thing that we could do is, of course, the plagiarism check is there, and an holistic approach. I think a holistic approach is followed by most universities. They look at a lot of things. It's not only the essays. So I feel in a world where change is the only constant and technological advancement is one thing that we are very proud of as a generation. So we should look at ways in which we can adapt around this technological advancement rather than completely negating it, because we have to move forward and we cannot move back.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing that. And drawing, some points from this conversation, I also have one very tough question from our experienced career counselor. So I'm going to ask this question to Ms. Poonam, then Ms. Khushbu and Ms. Nagma for your, quick answers on this. That what do you think students should ensure that they put in their college essay that, truly reflects their personality, even if it is AI assisted? That those elements will probably help them when the admission officers are screening through their application. And even if they have taken advantage of the AI, they will still be able to shine and show their unique personality. So may I just quickly begin with Ms. Poonam, and then I'm going to ask the others to share their opinion too.
Yeah, so basic takeaway that I can tell the students is that if you're going to be using AI, it has leverage it ethically. If you're going to be using AI for any part of your work, your journey towards your university career journey, your university applications, you leverage it ethically. You can use it as a support tool. You can use it as an information aggregator. You can use it as a first draft generator to get your ideas together, to get your information together. It will save you time in hours of research maybe, but the thing is, the information has to be checked because it might not be completely accurate. At times, AI does not generate accuracy is in question when AI generates information. So you can use it for grammar checker. So you can utilize the AI for various other ways in your college application journey. You can just put a prompt like, explore 5 top industries which will be in high demand in the next 5 years. And you will know, okay, these are the industries that are going to be in demand. And maybe if I'm interested in one of those, or maybe, I'm kind of inclining towards a particular thing, I can work towards it because it's going to be there in the future. You can write that, I'm working to be I want to be an environmental scientist. Suggest 5 extracurricular activities that I could do to build my profile. AI will, give you out the different kind of activities that would support your interests. You can also find information how to apply to universities in Netherlands or Sweden, or you can, I have this, I want to go to a country where Spanish is one of the main languages. Help me select universities, 5 top universities in such countries. So
Absolutely.
these are the ways that a student can leverage AI ethically, and that's what the students can use the AI for in their application journey.
Thank you so much, Ms. Poonam. Ms. Khushbu, may I have a comment from you as well?
So coming back to your question, I think you were asking how we can help students use AI and still not really affect their essays. So of course, what Poonam said, that's all that, you can do university listing and extracurriculars and all that is a part of application. But when it comes to essay per se, I think a lot of my students, I always tell them that, maybe I'm not available all the time to them, but AI can be their new friend. AI can be their new bot friend, and they can throw questions, get answers, have an interactive session with bots. And that really helps students in ideating, in inspiring, and also practically what I've seen is it helps students who have writing blocks. Those writer blocks, they suddenly feel that, okay, I can write. I think I've got a direction. And they suddenly also feel that, ma'am, I could identify my hook statement. So I think that's how we can still use AI and still be plagiarism free. Yeah.
Thank you. So now, Ms. Takwa, I also want to know from your experience, you may have, in the recent months also seen essays that are very well written and also seen essays that are very poorly written, and also been able to make the distinction between the two. So would you like to share just a quick example from, being able to compare two kinds of work and give some takeaway to our audience, to our students today, on what mistakes to avoid, what not to do, and what are the things that they could include and still be able to shine through the college essay?
Okay, thank you, Shilpa. So I always say that AI can provide you with standard content, but can't make a student stand out. And that is one thing that I think we have discussed throughout the session. And to be very honest, it's a great starting point. And I think Poonam and Khushbu both have talked about it. However, the human touch, because of, Poonam talked about one tone, is something that is lacking when it is an AI generated essay. Khushbu also talked about it, that that is something which you are not going to see in the essay. And I think that is where the human intervention is super important. So AI should be considered as a tool, and we can't be AI free. That is one thing which I think we all talked about, that AI is everywhere. So, but when you talk about a essay which you feel we need more work in it, to an essay, yes, this is. Do you think those essays that are the ideal kind of essays are not touched by AI? I doubt so, right? However, it's a combination of human and AI both together. It is far better than what Shilpa you brought in, that when we pay tons and tons of money and then we get a poor product out of it, because they also are like kind of a machine writing the same kind of thing, whether it's X student, Y student, Z student, right? So that is one thing I think which
Right.
we need to appreciate and also adapt. Khushbu and I had this interesting conversation about equity. And I said it is bringing equity, and Khushbu was, Khushbu being Khushbu, she's like, how could we talk about equity in AI? But at the same time, think about a student who has major language barriers, but at the same time is aspiring for and the student has every attribute that we are looking at or a college is looking at. right? That is where AI can surely help. AI can help in bringing perspective. Sometimes, students are so rigid and so focused with one direction that sometimes it is better for AI to tell them that there are other perspectives too. So I think all of this together, we can really help to bring one essay from here to here. And yes, when there is a tool, for how long are we going to say, no, we are not going to use it? We are at the end of that. Right now, we are using AI when we are talking to our audience. So I think that is something which we need to know how to use mindfully, but certainly something that helps with essays, right?
Thank you so much. It's been so very helpful. I have one question here from Shazia Parveen. If you're able to ask your question, please do, Shazia. Otherwise, please type it in the chat or in the Q&A box, and I'll be happy to ask the question for you. So while I receive the question, I just quickly want to take this moment to thank you all again, and also summarize for our audience what our so very experienced panelists have shared today. We are going to be more deeply engaging with artificial intelligence tools in the future. We are already currently flooded with so many of them. I think it's again important drawing so many points from the conversation we've had today to draw very clear boundaries, be ethical in our use and practices, and also not lose our creativity. I think by the end of the day, what the purpose is to be able to see the person through that letter, through that essay, and assess whether they will be able to make a contribution to the university, and likewise the university contributing to their own individual development. So it is up to us how we make use of technology. So be wise and be mindful of what you do. It can again boost creativity as well, just like we have discussed today, that it can give you great perspective. You are feeling free to shortlist, but also do not lose your own touch, because the uniqueness is not in the AI tool, it is in the person, and everything else is designed to facilitate, to bring that out. So that will be my concluding note for our audience today. And a big thank you to our panelists. High School Moms has worked extensively in the last few months, particularly to bring more and more information to students on different aspects and of college admission, career counseling, subject selection. We are very grateful that we were able to do this panel discussion with the leaders in the industry today on such an essential topic. So thank you once again, and we hope to meet you all again with another interesting topic that can really help and benefit our audience. Just one last question that I want to put out to the panelists that I received from Shazia is so there are lots of comments that are coming in. I'm not sure if you can see the Q&A, but people are very, very thankful for the insights that you've shared today. They found the session to be very helpful and wonderful. So the lovely work that you all are doing, the extensive time that you spent with your students, and you're able to bring that for our audience and share your expertise, I think we can only be very grateful. So we would love to meet again with another topic. We welcome you to the next set of GEC and the events that we will be doing in between. Thank you very much, Ms. Poonam Pagai, who's joining us from Pune, Ms. Khushbu Taparia, who's joining us from Bhopal, Ms. Shraddha Jain from Kolkata, and Ms. Nagma from our very own Gurgaon. Thank you very much to our audiences for being a part of this panel discussion, and we hope to see you soon with another interesting topic. With that, we close our session, and we are once again very happy to meet you all today.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa and everyone. Bye-bye.